This here is a slab roller. It is used to make slabs, which are thin pieces of clay. And it can do that with different thicknesses using the mechanics of the slab roller. So all this thing does is take whatever you put in here and push it through. So if I were to take this ball of clay and push it through the slab roller, it would make one long skinny slab, which is maybe not what you want. So the first thing I will do is I'll prep my clay. I'm going to roll it out, and I can use the surface here to roll it out into a tube. I'm using the heel of my hand to pound the clay down more into a tube, because that way when I put it through the slab roller, I will get more of a sheet of clay. Now, the first thing I want to do is once I have it flattened out, I want to pound down this upper edge here. So that way I can feed it through. You see how it has a wedge here? That way it feeds it through the slab roller, right? But before I roll my slab, what I want to do is I want to come over here and check the thickness. There's a dial right over here that tells you the thickness of the slab that you're about to roll in inches. You use these dials up here to change the thickness of the slab you're about to roll. If I turn it clockwise, it will shrink and decrease the slab size. If I turn it counterclockwise, it will increase the thickness of the slab that I want to roll. A good starting point, if you notice here, is the yellow arrow that points down to here. That is a good thickness to start off with that we use a lot for the ceramic houses, and a good building, a starting point. Now, this slab roller has two pieces of canvas here. You always want to make a clay sandwich, which means that your clay always needs to go between the two pieces of canvas. You never want clay touching this metal slab roller. You never want to have bare clay touching the metal roller, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my clay, which is wedged down, and put it right in the middle. As more and more people use this clay table, you'll see that this canvas gets wet. So you might want to move your clay around to avoid being on a really wet spot, which could lead to sticking. So I will put my clay in. I will put into my clay sandwich. I will close the canvas, and I'm going to press it forward until it hits the roller. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over to this side and grab the wheel and start pulling it. Now if it doesn't move right away, I'm going to reach back here and I'm going to grab both pieces of canvas and give it a slight pull, and then it grabs it, and then I'm going to then just roll my slab through. The canvas stops moving, so I'm going to pull it out. I will flip it up. I will take a look at it. I'm going to flip it up and flip it back, upside down, close it, and then I'm going to send it back through. Once it stops moving, then I will open it up, and now I have a nice even slab rolled in the thickness that I set on the dial. If you are the last person to use the slab roller, you should leave the canvas open to allow then the canvas to dry. Now after rolling a slab, it is a good idea, because you put this clay through so much tension and pressure stretching it out, is to smooth it out and compress it. You can use a various selection of ribs. We have these wood ribs here, and then there's sometimes plastic ribs too, to take the edge of the rib here and just compress the clay on both sides of your slab. Rolling a slab leaves a texture on your clay, so it's a good idea to try to press out and compress that texture all the way around on both sides. This will strengthen your clay as you start to build with your slab. So I flip it over and use the edge of the rib to apply pressure and compress each side of the slab after you've rolled it, just to make it stronger before you build with it. There you go.